let's take a look very quickly at Sifan Hassan's her legacy now as it stands. And I think Alex, we can get out the chisel and we can start kind of working on the profile of her face on the side of Mount Rushmore of women's distance running around Mount Rushmore, certainly, or just overall distance running Mount Rushmore, because she's second fastest all time, just pure time in the marathon. She's got a boatload of medals from Olympic Games and all different distances. And she's won a shitload of world championship medals as well, including 2 gold medals on the track at Worlds. And she's won Chicago and London, so 2 marathon majors, and she's only run 4 marathons now. So there you have it. That's a pretty good legacy, and it's a pretty deep resume.
Yeah, and she'll be known for so many like her times, her clutch performances at the Olympics, and also her longevity and her ability to bounce back quickly and handle a bunch of different races. It's a skill set that I think very few people have showed. You know, you mentioned Joshua Cheptegei. You could put many of the top athletes in that category too, that can show up and deliver one massive, incredible race per competition, and then that's it. I think the people who can show up twice, 3 times at one Olympics are few and far between, especially when you're talking about 10K marathon.
So the resilience is inspirational. It's amazing.
I'm going to sort of stamp on our last segment that I've got penciled in here, which is a winners and losers of this race segment. Whew, get ready for the hot takes. But I'll stamp on it with this. I think Nike has found their Eliud Kipchoge replacement. It's Sifan Hassan. I think they were struggling in the last couple of years to sort out just exactly how to transition from the Kipchoge era in distance running, just both from a marketing standpoint and also just having that iconic athlete, which Nike just desperately needs to have for all their pinnacle sports. And running is certainly, it's their DNA, it's their origin story, right? And Kipchoge did so much for them in the last 6 or 7, 8 years. And then I think they thought they had it lined up with Kelvin Kiptum. And unfortunately, him passing away really kind of changed everything, right? And there's just been a real dearth. There's been a void. And we've talked about it a lot. We've talked about it on previous pods. Hell, Alex and I talked about it yesterday. And it just dawned on me as I was watching this performance in the closing seconds of this marathon with what Sifan Hassan did, and also her character, her individuality, her persona, and how you could kind of market her as like this warrior, right? Like you just said, Katelyn, that like she'd be an amazing stage racer, right? Like she's just so versatile, and she's also well-spoken and charming, and kind of, like she's just talking about how like she's like, I'm so tired, like, which is like kind of funny and relatable and also completely wild. It's like, yeah, no shit, you're tired. But maybe she's it. Maybe she's the next Kipchoge. She's 31, kind of coming into the peak of her powers as a marathon runner. Just start lining her up for the majors. I mean, she's shown she can do things Kipchoge can't do. She can run a hilly course and win, right? And he could not do that. She could win Boston. She could win New York. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a whole lot of Sifan Hassan in Nike marketing materials in the next 12 months or so. What do you think?
Breaking 210, maybe?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Amazing.
Let's go. Yeah, that's a great idea, right? Like the next, pair that technology, right? The next phase in Nike's super shoe development era is working with Sifan Hassan, breaking the unheard of 210 barrier, which, I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I imagine that 210 is probably a harder accomplishment physiologically than a sub 2 hour marathon is for a guy.
Well, not too long ago, breaking 210 would have been the Canadian men's slogan. There was only one man who had ever broken 210 until 2018.